Good afternoon, everyone. We must have a quiet crowd. It's after lunch. Like, wake up, everyone. Should we serve coffee? I'm Natalia Matskavicius, General Manager of Azure Stack, and I have with me Henry Jerez, who is on our team as well. We're really excited to be here to talk to you about building and architecting hybrid cloud applications for Azure and Azure Stack. I'm going to kick off first with a video, so you see some of the power of Azure Stack.
HAEX is the world's leading IPO market. It's uniquely placed to offer regional and international investors access to Asia's most vibrant markets. We aspire to be leaders in technology innovation. HAEX corporate services run on a legacy infrastructure we originally built a number of years ago. We wanted to leverage our team's skill sets across a consistent platform. It was clear that cloud was the right direction. We had to determine between public cloud, hybrid cloud, and private cloud. Security and data sovereignty are two of our most important decision-making considerations. Microsoft Azure Stack became the leader in cloud services across public cloud and hybrid cloud offerings. We are now in phase 2, which is to migrate a large number of existing business applications from the legacy infrastructure onto Azure Stack. This will allow us to focus on building innovative solutions for our customers. Chatbot, AI-related applications, and robotics will help our businesses to better serve the participants of our exchanges and clearing houses. Azure Stack has already proven to be a high-performance platform. As we continue on our journey, we expect to experience faster time to market, greater cost efficiency, while maintaining the high standards of reliability that this market expects from us in transformation for our global markets.
Hold on a second, sorry. So we're really excited. Maybe? I don't know what's.
Yeah, that.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Well, we're really excited to talk to you today about building hybrid applications. Azure Stack is one component of our Intelligent Edge offering. How many of you are familiar with Azure Stack? Good, a good portion of you in the room. We've been on a journey to bring Azure Stack to customers now for several years and have many customers across the globe who are using Azure Stack. And it's really exciting to see how they're transforming their business and using Azure Stack not just alone, but also with our entire Intelligent Edge offerings. So if you look at our Intelligent Edge offerings, they span across multiple different components. First, from the very smallest components, there's Azure Sphere and our secure microcontroller unit. How many of you saw Scott Guthrie's keynote yesterday? I don't know if you saw me holding up a Sphere. That chip is tiny. It is the smallest microcontroller unit. It was really difficult to hold because it's so small. You can check it out on the showroom floor, but it really provides it's a secure microcontroller unit for IoT capabilities. Beyond that, we have IoT devices. So Microsoft has an entire ecosystem of IoT devices, thousands of devices with hundreds of partner solutions. That includes the device SDK. Then we get into some of our sensors and interactive devices. That's where we have IoT Edge. And IoT Edge gives you the ability to deploy containerized services to different devices. And those devices can be as small as Raspberry Pi devices, cameras, but really it includes things like AI, machine learning capabilities, stream analytics, and even more, and that's generally available. Then we get into our integrated platforms. The integrated platforms includes Edge Appliances, which is our DataBox Edge platform, as well as Azure Stack. Now, Data Box Edge includes not just data transfer, but it also includes compute capabilities with containerized services. And then Azure Stack is our consistent cloud that's available. So Microsoft gives you a full spectrum of services all the way from the smallest devices to Azure Stack to meet your needs at the edge. That intelligent cloud, the one thing that is true across all that entire spectrum is it's connected systems and devices that can run online or offline. They can run fully disconnected. They can gather information. They run AI closest to the source, so close to your physical world where the data is being generated, and provide real-time insights. So that's really key, then connecting to the cloud to give you more robust AI capabilities. You also have distributed applications. So there's new models of applications that are starting to evolve. So you want consistent application development from the public cloud all the way down to your edge devices to give you the most power. So with our full spectrum of intelligent cloud, intelligent edge, you have IoT Edge as well as Azure services. But across all of those, you have security, artificial intelligence. So you get machine learning capabilities and AI. There's identity platform that can span across your entire estate then. And then finally, that application platform, which is really critical as a developer. So with those translate to things like serverless computing with Azure Functions, our security platform with Security Center, then Active Directory, Azure Active Directory, giving you a common identity platform across your entire edge spectrum, and then AI and machine learning capabilities. Again, that spans your entire intelligent edge and intelligent cloud. What's unique about Microsoft's approach is you can also run these completely disconnected. So you can use Azure Stack as your cloud on premises and run fully air-gapped from the network, but still have that entire edge spectrum, give you that consistency for application development, AI and machine learning, and have a very robust application model. We're seeing a trend across all different industries. Financial services, so you saw the video with Hong Kong Stock Exchange, where they're looking at really providing customer analytics, doing more financial modeling, so getting use of data insights that they're capturing from their customers, from all the data that they have. They're doing risk and fraud detection that they never could before. In health science, you can look at clinical data and get more outcomes, understand patient outcomes. You can get data from IoT devices, so the healthcare sensors and monitors. Again, across every sector, we're seeing this being very powerful to have that consistent application development that marries the IoT devices all the way to the cloud model. This translates also to business solutions. From a business solutions perspective, you can look at in work life. You might want to look at your employee insights to get better understanding how to engage your employees, how to plan for resources. In finance, you can be looking at forecasting some of your financial models and getting better data to understand that. In marketing, better customer insights from the data so you could better market your products and services. All of this can be done because of the plethora of data that's being created at the edge. You can make insights and do real-time insights at the edge, do aggregation of that data, do the insights, and then only send the data that you need to the public cloud. So very powerful models. So we're going to delve a little bit deeper into Azure Stack. Many of you mentioned that you're already familiar with Azure Stack, so I'm happy to hear that. There's 3 key value propositions for Azure Stack. One is a consistent application development and operations. So you can have consistent development on premises as well as in the public cloud. So as a developer, you can use CI/CD pipelines to actually create the same code and bring it down in Azure and bring it down to an Azure Stack environment. You can have some of the same services available that you have in Azure. So things like serverless computing, but also some of your web applications. Things like Kubernetes. You might want to use Kubernetes. You want Kubernetes on premises as well. This is built on a purpose-built integrated system where we've partnered with hardware partners to deliver the solution so you can have a consistent cloud on premises. It really is an extension of Azure. So first, if we start with the consistent application development, this means tools, experiences are exactly the same as you would use in Azure. And you'll see we're not just talking today on slides. Henry and I are actually going to be a little bit more demo heavy in this session, so hopefully you'll appreciate that. So I'm trying to get through the slides fairly quickly. So you can see how you can use Visual Studio team services consistently across Azure and Azure Stack, building CI/CD pipelines. This means your application patterns can be the same. You can create JSON templates that you can use in Azure or Azure Stack. Or the way you're doing it is consistent, it's the same. The automations and operations can be the same. And this is true whether you're using Microsoft technologies or open source tools and technologies. So it's really critical. How many of you here use more open source technologies for development? Few. And the rest are using Microsoft technologies for development? Visual. Okay. How many of you are developers in the audience? I should ask first. Okay, good. Good. So a split between the two. And that's the beauty of Azure Stack, is it is a cloud, and because it is a cloud, it's not just a Microsoft cloud. It's a cloud that supports both open source third-party tools and technologies and Microsoft technologies. The next thing is services that are available on premises. So the same type of services that are available in Azure are available on Azure Stack. It is a subset, but if you're familiar with things like serverless computing in Azure with Azure Functions, that is available on Azure Stack. Just like Azure has a marketplace of technologies, we have a marketplace on Azure Stack. The nice thing is customers can choose to deploy marketplace images from Azure and syndicate them down to Azure Stack. So if you're a software developer and you're targeting an application for Azure, you can expand your market to include on-premises for people who are using Azure Stack. Virtual machines. IaaS capabilities are available on Azure Stack. So there's Windows as well as Linux virtual machines available on Azure Stack. Key Vault. The same type of application keys. We have an application key vault that's available on Azure Stack. And then containers. And then finally, it is built with purpose-built integrated systems. So that means we've partnered with hardware partners to deliver the cloud on premises. And that's everyone from your common hardware providers, HP, Dell. It includes Lenovo, Huawei, Cisco, Fujitsu. So really, a broad choice of hardware partners offer the cloud on premises. It's a highly prescribed infrastructure, so companies can focus more on application development as opposed to just running and operating the Azure Stack system. So we've made it highly prescriptive infrastructure. We've invested in the patching and updating and orchestration there. Security, privacy, monitoring, diagnostics. But the intent is you're going to have a consistent cloud. So that was just a brief overview of Azure Stack to help you understand how it is the cloud on premises. We're going to start with a demo that really keys off the demo that you saw in Scott Guthrie's keynote. So in Scott Guthrie's keynote, if everyone remembered, there was a demo of Kroger Sunrise Solution. Do people remember seeing that? The grocery store shelves? So we're going to go a step beyond that. In the demo that you saw in Scott Guthrie's keynote, it was specifically using DataBox Edge that was in that intelligent edge to actually look at grocery store shelves and inventory. The demo architecture I'm going to walk through first. If you look at box 1, you can actually run legacy applications on Azure Stack, also aggregate from multiple different DataBox Edges systems on an Azure Stack system. So box 1 shows you taking data from DataBox Edge, aggregating it to an Azure Stack system. So in a regional system, inventory system, you can actually take that and aggregate the data that we're collecting from the DataBox Edge systems. Then what we can do, so that's step 1. Step 2 is we can actually deploy cognitive services to augment the legacy applications. So this is from an inventory control application. We're going to deploy cognitive services, and then we could use OCR capabilities so you can actually automate things that today are manual processes in an inventory control management system at a regional level. Step 3 is we're going to show Azure Stack managing and collecting data from IoT devices. So we have cameras that you'll see up here in front that have models on them where we're going to actually train data on Azure Stack, and then we're going to collect data from those IoT devices. And then 4, we're going to train models locally on an Azure Stack system and then send them to those IoT devices. In this case, it's cameras that can be used in the stores, and those cameras then can collect data to help understand how customers are interacting with the different products. Okay? So I'm going to go now switch over to my demo. So if you remember in that diagram, I started first with, this is a regional application. With a regional application in the stores, what you saw in Scott Guthrie's keynote is each store was collecting inventory data using a data box edge to actually understand what inventory is on the store shelves. At a regional level, you want an inventory control system that's going to look across all your stores, capture some of the data, and then be able to actually ship data as necessary to various different stores. So this is our regional dashboard for the Northwest region, looking at some of the data. Now I'm going to deploy the regional data, and it's connected to the legacy system, is built on Azure Stack. I'm going to deploy cognitive services. So cognitive services in Azure gives you the capability to do things like understand, recognize vision, do OCR capabilities, speech, search, language, but I'm going to deploy cognitive services. So here's Visual Studio Team Services. As you can see, I'm going to have a regional app here. I can actually test that app in Azure, but deploy to Azure Stack. And you'll see here, I've got a kubectl, so Kubernetes and app services that I can easily release and deploy and create a deployment going to Azure Stack. This is a way that I can extend the application and inject cognitive services to a legacy application. So once I've deployed those, then within this legacy application, because I've deployed the cognitive services, now if you look to the right, you can look at all the bills of ladings. It can actually recognize text using OCR and easily recognize that text. So it's automating a process that was manual in the past. Again, all of this done on Azure Stack, where you can take your legacy application in that regional data center with an Azure Stack system. Now let's take that a step further. The other thing you want to be able to do is we want to be able to get models down to our cameras so we can better understand how people are interacting with the produces as well as products in the stores. So we have the capability to go to Azure, and here's Azure within machine learning experiments. There's machine learning experiments. We can actually train on-premises experiments. So these are some on-premises experiments, and you could see that we could easily train some of those. So first I'm going to go to, we've got a camera up front that does not have any machine learning connected yet. So Henry, all right, so that's one of the cameras up front. You see we've got cameras on the shelves in the grocery store. We've got a camera there. It's connected. I'm going to go back.
So we're collecting images from this camera into the Azure Stack that we have running here.
Yep. So we've connected. So through that camera, we connect a lot of images. But what we can do on the Azure Stack, and you'll see here on the top left, this is a Microsoft Azure Stack. It looks very similar to Azure because we've taken the control plane and brought it on premises. And here you can see that we actually have a data science virtual machine there. You can see it spiking when it's collecting some of the data. And then we can go to, because we have IoT Hub and IoT Edge actually deployed on an Azure Stack system. And you can see there's IoT Edge devices. We can push down to the different retail cameras those trained models that were trained on an Azure Stack system to the cameras. So I'm going to go to this back to our cameras now with a trained model. And as you can see, Henry was waving, and it automatically detects that that's a person. So this is the power of Azure Stack. It really gives you, it's a cornerstone of some of the technology where you can integrate your entire edge capabilities, use things like cognitive services, actually train models on premises when necessary, connect to the IoT capabilities. I know Henry's tired of looking over there. So really powerful to be able to have that complete end-to-end scenarios. Okay, so with that, we're going to go back to the presentation. And I'm going to hand over back to Henry, where we're going to go into some of the roadmap and updates for Azure Stack system. Great.
Who's ready for some announcements? Well, it wouldn't be built if you don't have announcements. Thanks for the 2 people that raised their hands. I'm the only one that's this excited about announcements. A lot of people worked a long time to be able to get to this point. So I'm just the fortunate talking head in front of the camera right now. But kudos to the different teams and our partners that have actually worked on this effort. So we're going to get started with some announcements. So some refreshers on our roadmap. Today, you saw already a little bit of it. We're releasing cognitive services in public preview. This includes all of the cognitive services that were announced in private preview before, plus the new announcements around speech, anomaly detection, and so on that were released yesterday. So any of the cognitive services that you can run on containers that have been announced during the conference, you are now able to run in public preview also on top of your Azure Stack. And I'm actually going to show you how to do that. So we're going to go and do one of those. We're also announcing Stream Analytics in private preview. You can now take advantage of this very powerful tool and have it not only run on top of Azure Stack, but actually connect your Azure Stack with Azure to be able to have these composable streams. We'll see them about that. And we'll talk about some new solution patterns and samples. Let me just also remind you that during the demos, you've been seeing IoT Hub. That is still in private preview, so you can request to have access to it if you have Azure Stack. You will also see Event Hubs, which we previously announced, and it's in private preview, and also the Azure Kubernetes engine, which we're moving to public preview soon. If you want to see more details, and of course we don't just make updates at big events like this, you can check how these systems are moving towards general availability by going to that link. But enough of talking, let's do some demos. So my first demo is going to be a cognitive service that's being deployed. And in this particular demo, I'm going to be using a cognitive service that I procure in Azure. So that's the very first step. You go and you get a key in Azure for a cognitive service, just like if you were to deploy it normally to the cloud. Then I'm going to take that container, and I'm going to deploy it into Kubernetes using a simple Kubernetes command. And then I'm going to take an application that takes dependency on AI model being deployed on the Kubernetes cluster and run it here. We're going to be looking at the intelligent kiosk, which you might have seen a couple of times already. So let's get started with the demo. So for the first demo, I think I need to stop that presentation so you can see mine. There we go. Let me move some things here to the other screen. Here. So actually, this is not going to work so great. Just 1 second. Let me make sure I duplicate my screen. OK, great. Awesome. Now that we can see it. So the very first thing is I just go to Azure. This is a regular Azure portal. And I just provisioned cognitive service. As part of that, you can go to, and if you have a cognitive service today, you can just reuse that account. You don't have to get a new one. So this one, it has the Face API. And as you can see on Face API, it actually has some keys. You can also get an overview, and you can check where is that endpoint. It's important that you know where your endpoint is because your keys are specific to that endpoint. So I have this key here. So I'm just going to grab that key. And now I'm going to deploy this. So here I'm in Azure Stack. This is the Azure Stack system that I was showing you, but I'm actually in a Kubernetes cluster. So in this Kubernetes cluster, you can see all the resources, and you can see the different virtual machines that are automatically provisioned for you when you use our template from Marketplace to create your Kubernetes engine locally. One of these machines is this VMD machine, which is the machine that I use for deployment. So I'm just going to SSH into that machine. And when I SSH into that machine, I'm inside of it. I can actually deploy my container. The way that I will deploy it is I need to edit a face API.yaml file. So in this YAML file, it is just a traditional YAML file, but there's two important components that you're going to need to enter. First, your key, which notice I have already pasted, is the same key that we just saw online. And of course, your billing location. This is the server, and that's why I told you to look into what your server is. This is the server that will be collecting the billing information about your cognitive service. When you have that, you can just do a kubectl apply and the name of the file. And that will, in this case, it was already deployed, so I've just updated the service. And that will take a couple of minutes normally to download the container and deploy it. And now you can actually do get services. Now, as part of the get services, I see that the Face API cognitive service has been deployed here. And I have this external IP. This external IP is the REST API endpoint that you will be able to access from your applications, plus the port. So let's actually go into one of these applications. This is the intelligent kiosk that many of you might have seen. So I'm going to go into settings. You will notice that there's something slightly different. By the way, this is available for you to download this application if you want to play around with it. Just look for intelligent kiosk. We have it in GitHub. You will notice that I actually have included now the particular IP for my server and that port. And for the Face API, I just use the same key that I just got from the cloud. Based on that, I can now go and do a demo, and let's see how all these things I am today. Not bad. But I can also do more interesting things, like I can go to my greeting kiosk. Now, it doesn't know who I am, but I can retrain that model. Now, remember, this cognitive service is running entirely on Azure Stack. So I'm just going to create a group here. Hopefully, I'm a person, so I'm going to say people. Then I'm going to put my name. Now, traditionally, when I add a person, the intelligent kiosk tries to leverage another cognitive service, which is the big images service. I don't have that service, so it's fine. It's saying it can't find it because I never deployed it locally. But then I can provide it data on my own. So I'm just going to capture a picture of this camera. And now that I'm ready, I can train the model. So that's really retraining the model, and now it has associated a name with that face. So it says, welcome back, Henry. And just like that, you have a cognitive service running on premises, and that makes 1 out of 3 demos working. So thank you. Let's go for the next. OK, so the next demo, let's get a little bit more adventurous. We're going to be talking about stream analytics. Here, what we're going to be using is several components. And this is a true hybrid application. In the first case, you saw a hybrid application where we took a native Azure service that was intended to run on the cloud, and we ran it on premise. But we can do better. We can actually run the service both on the cloud, in fact, several services, both on the cloud and on premises, and have them interconnected. So what we're going to be doing in this particular case is we will be working with the cloud and the Azure Stream Analytics service to create an Azure Stream Analytics job. And I'm going to use IoT Hub on the cloud to deploy to an Azure Stack system. Now, inside of Azure Stack, we will use one of the VMs as the endpoint for IoT Hub. So that particular VM inside of Azure Stack, it's behaving as a client to that cloud service. We will deploy that Stream Analytics module there, and now the Stream Analytics positioned inside of your Azure Stack can have access to your local data from engine sensors, and it's able to integrate that using Event Hub running on Azure Stack, and then selectively put some information either locally in blob storage for you to use through your Power BI server, or to send to the cloud that will also be leveraging that through a different Event Hub for a global Power BI. Now, it's a bunch of moving pieces. You might think, why would anyone need to do that? So we actually have an example. So in this particular example, we're going to be looking at an engine testing facility. Now, engine testing is it's a fascinating area. So this one is just testing the oxygen sensor. So there's a lot of fine-tuning that goes into engines to come up with the right testing. So testing of these engines, it's a global process, as you can imagine, for a large manufacturer. But a lot of the factories actually have proprietary information that don't want they don't want to leave the premises. Now, since the company is paying for an overall view, they have this aggregated view of the world, and we see that our testing facility in Shanghai has about 23 alerts that are coming out of that engine per minute. Now, we would love to look into that location, but this is in Shanghai. The data is not allowed to come out. It happens to be that Shanghai is running their own Azure Stack. Now, for full disclosure around this, the reason I'm going to be able to, this is a different Azure Stack, not the one that we have here. I'm going to be able to access it because I have a VPN. So I can actually go to the Shanghai server. So this is an Azure Stack running in Shanghai today, and you can see that there are several components. So at this point, we're in this second step. So we're looking at what's running inside of that Azure Stack. And we're running a Power BI server inside of Azure Stack. So this is the view of the data that I can see inside of that Azure Stack. And this is the particular oxygen sensor information. And you can see that the red points here are only the information that is being aggregated at a global level, but I can actually go and look at even more data locally. So that's the scenario in which you would want some data locally, and only a subset of that gets aggregated. Now, since I'm no engine expert, but I happen to know a thing or two about software, let me show you how we built this. So in order to do that, we start on the cloud. So this is Microsoft Azure on the cloud, and inside of it, I'm actually going to go to Stream Analytics. Remember, I'm still in that first part on the cloud where I'm creating a service. This is just your traditional Stream Analytics. Stream Analytics is a very interesting product. You just get to write these queries, and they will act upon data, streams of data that are being generated. This particular query, as you can see, it's selecting into a blob output on Azure Stack from the Event Hub that's running on Azure Stack. So all the sensor data is going into that Event Hub, and I'm putting the average value of that data into the blob locally to persist it in Azure Stack. At the same time, I'm taking data from that same Event Hub on Azure Stack, and I'm propagating it into the Event Hub globally. This is the global one, but only the data that meets this criteria, less than 35 or higher than 90. And I'm doing that in a window of a minute. So I'm referencing some entities here that need to be defined. So you get to define your entities here on the left. So my first entity is this Event Hub on Azure Stack. You will notice that as part of that, it has the service bus namespace. So I can go to my Shanghai location, and I can actually look at the Event Hub that's running on that location. And this is the Event Hub that happens to be running there, and I have the information for it here. So with this particular Event Hub, I can just go ahead and get the access policy for that location, and I will get the key from it. That's how I actually end up configuring this. This is the location, a Stage Data Analytics Event Hub that you had there in Shanghai, and here is the policy key that got copied here. Now, I am also talking about a blob output. The same way, I can go back to my location in Shanghai, and I can look at the, and I can look at the blob that was defined there. So give me a second or two as I reconnect to Shanghai. It's a demo, so it had to have some delays. Any second now, I guess. While that's doing, let me just illustrate that we're going to be using the same location from Shanghai, which is this local storage blob, Shanghai Azure, and you would retrieve the key in the same way that I just did it before. And finally, I'm going to go to this Event Hub global location, and in this location, we're just addressing the one that's on the cloud. So this whole component gets to be deployed using Azure IoT Hub. So when I do that, I will go to the IoT Hub system, and that IoT Hub system, it's actually being able to identify as part of the devices this particular device in Shanghai, which happens to be just a VM that's running in Shanghai. So hopefully this has loaded. So now I can go, let me go to my dashboard here. So that VM happens to be this VM here. So I have deployed that VM. I can add that VM as an IoT Edge endpoint, and that VM is the one that will be deploying the Stream Analytics system. You can see that it's still running and grabbing some data, and this happens to be the Event Hub that I released. I have also installed a Power BI server report locally in Azure Stack, so that way the data, even for visualization, does not ever leave the premises. This is how we end up with a deployment like here, where you can see the container deployment. If I wanted to do even more deployments, it's as simple as setting a module, and we have direct integration with Azure Stream Analytics. So inside of that Azure Stream Analytics component, I can just select any of my particular subscriptions and deploy another Stream Analytics module on top of that. So that's how we end up with a system that is able to aggregate everything at a global level, where you can also have a very local, protected, and governance-compliant set of data that's also visualized through a Power BI system. It looks like everything is running on Azure because it is. It's just that it happens to be running on Azure on premises. So that's the second demo. And let's go to our last announcement. So how many of you liked the Kroger demo? We've seen a lot of people doing that. Did you like it? Just the two people that, like, come on, it's a good demo. So what's good news is that you actually get to try that demo. So we're going to release 3 patterns. We're going to do the stage data analytics that I just showed you with Stream Analytics. If you have factories or any other type of data that needs to be streamed, we're going to be releasing that publicly available for you, so you can download the code, the same things that I did here. You just use that template. We are also releasing the highly available SQL Server with disaster recovery side. That's if you want to happen to be running SQL Server or MongoDB, you will have entire patterns, which include all the write-up about how to do these steps, as well as the code. And for that particular edge void detection pattern that you have there, we're going to give you not only the notebooks that are used for my data science friends. Any data science in the room? No, no one. Well, when you find one, you can tell them. They'll be happy about this. We're going to give them the notebook that they used to train the model. We're also going to give the base data set. The data set is important because it allows you to train your own model. So say you have parts or other type of retail items that you wanted to train with, you can just take pictures of those, label them, add them to the data set, and retrain it. And we will also give you the train model, the same one that you've seen in the floor, that you saw running here, and you can just use that model. We'll give you that model. It's a basic one, so don't expect it to be working in every use case, but if you just want to quickly set up a stock inventory system like that, we'll give you that model, and it runs both in Azure Stack and Databox Edge. So please don't forget to get those patterns at that location. And also look for an AI announcement from Iguazio tomorrow. Iguazio is one of our partners that's bringing the ability to do even more interesting AI on the edge. It's an additional path to the paths that we currently have. Tomorrow, Iguazio will be making a press release, so look out for that as well. So what do you do next? These are all the locations. If you have a phone, this is the moment to take a picture, or wait until we release this. It's basically everything that you saw here today. The demos, the videos, the code is going to be there, and you can get the patterns directly from these locations. So that finishes our demos. Please don't forget to give us feedback. But we can also answer some questions. So if you have some questions for Natalia or me, we'll be happy to answer those questions right now. Yes, please. If you can walk to the microphones, that'll be even better. Yes. Natalia, the question was, how is Azure Stack licensed?
Click. OK, how's the Azure Stack licensed? So Azure Stack is, hold on, let me come up on stage, back on stage. And Azure Stack is an integrated system. So there's two options. One, you can acquire an Azure Stack system from a hardware provider. But then the software, there's two ways to acquire the software. First is a consumption-based model, where you send usage records to Azure. There's an Azure Stack service in Azure. You send consumption records to Azure, and you pay based on consumption. So there's a vCore per hour price, and it's a little less than in Azure just because you have the hardware that you're managing and operating. So that is one model. It's a consumption-based model, so you pay for what you use. The second model is many customers of ours want more predictability of their pricing, licensing. They're used to having more of CapEx expenditures, or they need to be fully air-gapped from the network. So there is a yearly license fee for Azure Stack systems in that case. So there's two models. Lastly, we do have many service providers as well as SIs that offer Azure Stack as a service as well. So in some countries and geographies, we've got service providers depending on the industry or geography. We've got SIs and service providers who are also offering Azure Stack as a service. So that would be hardware and software inclusive. And we've got Avanade as a partner who can provide an Azure Stack offering as a service too. So flexibility and choice. I will say most customers tend to use the consumption-based business model because then it can accrue to your Azure Stack bill.
Cool.
What other questions? We tried to be more demos so you could ask more questions. Yes, please.
In the second demo, the data was geographically different locations, and it was proprietary to that locations, was not supposed to share to a global or something, right?
Yes.
So I think in the demo, when you actually share the data, you still share the selective data to the global hub.
Yep.
Right. So that actually breaks the first principle that data should not be shared geographically.
Yeah, this is a choice that you have. It is about just as in some cases you don't need to, you would not share the actual data. You might do a transformation of the data or just extract some information out of it, and that's what you send out.
Yeah, I believe every geographically we should actually generate the results, and then the result should be aggregated as a global.
That's right. And the advantage is that with this pattern, you get the choice to do that. It is as simple as just modifying the stream analytics query. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, oftentimes with functions or others, you can actually either parse the data and only send relevant data to Azure. You can actually transform some of the data, and that's what many of our customers are doing to make sure that they maintain some of the privacy of data on premises if that's the requirement.
Hi, what's your timing for AKS on Azure Stack release and the plans for Windows container support as well?
So Kubernetes is interesting because I think a lot of times when people are asking about Kubernetes, they're asking what they want is they want to run Kubernetes on premises. So we do have unmanaged Kubernetes. So you can actually run Kubernetes, which we've been showing here in some of these demos. You can run those on Azure Stack. Then our next step is really to have more of a managed Kubernetes offering. So first with Kubernetes Engine, and then having more of a managed Kubernetes offering. So it's interesting. It's not just again, it's not just AKS, it's actually how do you want to manage and operate Kubernetes. And so we're working through the different use cases and scenarios for customers on what are their requirements. Everything from a managed offering from Azure to being able to actually just have managing a Kubernetes offering on premises. So the managed Kubernetes engine preview.
It's available today. So
Yep.
AKS engine, so these are all the templates that allow you to create a cluster, upgrade the complete lifecycle of that cluster are available today in preview. So you can sign up to that. Now our previews don't run very long before we go to GA. But I can't tell you GA right now because I will be making an announcement that comes later. But we're going down that path. And as Natalia mentioned, the next natural iteration of that is to be able to manage that globally. And it's something we're working on, but nothing to announce today.
Yeah. And your second question is about Windows containers, and I don't have a timing for Windows containers at this point in time.
We're working closely with that team. They will be making an announcement at the time.
It'd be great maybe afterwards if you can help us understand what are the use cases and requirements that you are looking at. Oftentimes what we're looking at is we're prioritizing working with different teams to bring services on premises based on the use cases and requirements. And we're really trying to listen very closely to customers. That's why if you look at having some of the cognitive services was a really key use case for customers. Stream analytics is a use case, especially if you look across the edge. And so a lot of things we're doing is based on the customer requirements, industries, and verticals, and what they're trying to accomplish. Question?
Yes.
Yeah. I work in financial industry, and we have red box requirements, red box countries like Germany, China, Russia, Africa, where we can host our apps within our on-prem data centers.
Yep.
But I'm not sure how Azure Stack differentiates between Azure regions. Like, we can deploy our apps in Azure regions in that country. Now, we can't manage because I'm based in US, so I cannot tap into it. A local country IT or software engineering team is going to manage that. But can we run those apps on Azure Stack within our in-house data centers?
So if you look at, and it's not just financial services, there's many industries and verticals where there are either data sovereignty or privacy requirements. So the three use cases we see for Azure Stack, in part is the data sovereignty regulation requirements. There is the edge use cases, and then it's some modernization. Now, in your case, if you look at financial services, we have many companies who are looking at a couple different things. It's privacy as well as sovereignty or secrecy of some of the data. And so we have, we have 52 regions in Azure. So if you look at more than any other cloud provider, we're available in many locations.
Right.
But even in some of those locations, the customer's data requirement still requires that you keep it in your data center. And like I said, it may just be a subset of the data, but it's a small part of the data. So we have many customers who do have Azure Stack systems then in their data centers for that specific purpose. And the benefit of Azure Stack is then you can actually have a global application that you develop in Azure.
Exactly.
And develop it in the same way, and then through that CI/CD pipeline, deploy that same application to an Azure Stack system. Part of it is how you've architected your application, though. So if your application has dependencies on some services that are in Azure that are not yet available in Azure Stack, then it may not be the right fit. Or you might develop a hybrid application where you have key components of the data and the portions that need to be on premises on Azure Stack, but then connecting to Azure, because you can obfuscate some of the data as you need to. Like if you're training models, you can actually obfuscate some of the data. You can actually use functions to parse the data before you send it to Azure. But it's a really unique hybrid use case and pattern to be able to do that. And there are specific countries, and you're right, Africa is tough. And part of that is not just because of data privacy, it's also because of the network bandwidth and latency within the middle of the continent. Right. There's some regions, like Russia tends to have some privacy requirements. It depends globally. As a global multinational company, you might find pockets there. And many of our customers are very happy with those types of hybrid patterns.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hi.
Is there a plan to bring Hyper SQL onto the stack, especially for those of us that can't seem to get something like that on-prem?
So Hyper SQL?
Yes, just announced at the convention here.
Do you know, so first there's a couple things. So when we're looking at SQL, there's SQL 2019 that we're working with to have that available on Azure Stack, and we're working through the rest of the data roadmap. So Henry, have you talked to the team yet on the Hyper?
Yeah. So the way that it works is we release at scale in Azure, then based on the popularity or demand for some of these services, we work with that team to bring it to the edge. So we'd love to hear more about your use case, because that helps us inform that. It is not top of our list right now because it was just announced, but it is a matter of having that conversation and being able to then parse.
And I would say, like I said, some of the first things we've been doing is, we didn't demonstrate it today, is SQL 2019, which gives you poly-based technologies. So that we've demonstrated in other conferences, and we're happy to point to some other areas that we've had. And really, we'd like to understand some of the use cases. And we worked hand in hand with the different teams in Azure.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. Another question.
Yeah.
Is there a standard model for business continuity for Azure Stack, having multi-region? Is there?
So business continuity, so the question was around business continuity. So one, this is a cloud. So as a cloud, one of the things we talk to people about when we're developing applications in Azure or Azure Stack is resiliency in the application. And as developers, I think that is one of the key things. Is a new paradigm to look at more resiliency in an application, and that's a cloud model. So we do have customers who have built resilient applications that go across 2 different Azure Stack stamps, and through, again, it's more application resiliency. We have a lot of third-party offerings as well, where we work with some of our third parties, such as Commvault and others, to do more backup and disaster recovery type of scenarios. Backup and recovery and disaster recovery probably is an hour-long session, so if you want more details, I'm happy to forward you more details on it, but there's aspects of it is application resiliency, then there's the hardware resiliency across that.
Anyone else?
Any questions? We're here. Well, I really want to thank you for your time. Again, we tried to focus more on some of the applications and services. We do have other application patterns that we have posted on our website that are hybrid application patterns. And so one of the key things Henry's team's been working on is a lot of different application patterns that you can use, where you can actually have some of the data on premises, some in Azure, then more of these cognitive services demos. What we've been really focused on is looking at how to use both Azure and Azure Stack in the best way possible, as well as that entire intelligent edge and continuum, because I think that that's where this becomes really exciting and interesting.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.